Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to Jerez. The 2023 EUROCUP-3 season arrived to Circuito de Jerez Ángel Nieto for round 5 after a well-deserved summer break. Yesterday the teams had a collective test and today they had 2 free practice sessions and a qualifying session to set the grid of the race, with Nikola Tsolov starting in pole position, followed by Francesco Braschi and Esteban Masson. And talking about Esteban Masson, we'll experience a high intense race. Why? Because Esteban Masson is leading the overall standings with 151 points over Mari Boya, who stands in P2, and Sebastian Ogaard, who stands in P3. On the other hand, we'll also enjoy the battle between Campos Racing and MP Motorsport. The Valencian team is leading the standings with 19 points over MP Motorsport. So we really want you to enjoy the race. Just see you on track, and now it's time for my colleague Jake to give you all the details of the race.
Hello and welcome to Jerez for this, the first race on round 5 of the EUROCUP-3 Championship. Nikola Tsolov was on pole position from Francesco Bracci, but the opening lap, Tsolov has fallen down the order. With Esteban Masson, the championship leader, currently in second place, ahead of Javier Segura in third. Sebastian Ogaard is running fifth, ahead of Jose Antonio Garfias, while Dani Nogales is seventh, ahead of Miran Pingasov, and Sebastian Graflund, who is running ninth, ahead of Mari Boya, who rounds out the top 10. Bruno Pina is 11th at the moment, ahead of Tisanopol Interpruvazak. It was a good start from 16th up to 12th. Niels Koolen is 13th, ahead of Nick Gilkes, while Dario Cabanelas is 15th, ahead of Georgis Makogiannis, and Jose Campos is currently running last. Zulaiman Fari did get in a time, had received a penalty, but has not started the race. Marco Giannis has fallen behind Campos once again, so they are back in 16th and 17th positions. But meanwhile, out front, Bracci is leading. Now, it must be said, Bracci had a very good start to the season. Was a winner for the opening race at Spa, finished second place in their second race that weekend, then took 2 more podiums at Aragon. Since then, has not finished higher than second place, so from what was looking like a championship challenge right at the start of the season has faded somewhat. He's currently fourth in the points with 89 points to $151 when amassed by Masson. As we see the start now, it was Tsolov on the left hand side of your screen. The green machine had a bit of a sluggish start and allowed Bracci to get away. So Tsolov immediately dropping down into second place. He was then taken for second place. I do believe that was Masson going through, while Solov went wide, and it allowed Segura to actually also take a position, dropping Solov down into fourth position. He's still there. He's half a second behind Segura and is not going to give up easily. This is, of course, his first round in EUROCUP-3. Solov has been competing elsewhere this season. Although he has registered, well, he's not a guest driver, even though it's his first weekend. He is not a guest driver. He has garnered 2 points for that pole position. But meanwhile, he is currently lying in fourth place. Fastest lap also recorded by Braschi leading this race. There's a 1 minute 40.698. Got a 1.5 second lead over Masson in this early stages. Of course, this race 30 minutes plus 1 lap. We're just over 24.5 minutes remaining plus 1 lap. Coming to dry sack corner, and actually he's looking content, not under any pressure whatsoever. And Masson has an easy gap over Segura as well. Segura, he's had 2 podiums already this season. He's got a 3rd place at Spa and was finished 2nd place at Monza, and a couple of other points finishes. And we have Esteban Masson has gone off, and that looks like a bit of damage to the left front. He's gone into the barrier. I'm immediately thinking we're going to have a safety car very quickly. No notification of yet, but this is quite a turnaround. Yellow flag at turn 8 is what we're getting at the moment. Now, let's be surprised if this does not become a safety car, because it does look as if Masson's car is quite significantly damaged. It may take a little bit of efforts to be removed as we come down into turn 6. Of course, this is the kind of scenario you would expect Harry Boya, second in the standings, to be really hoping for the most for, but Boya himself's only down in 9th position. He's not going to make much here, as we're watching the battle for 4th position between Sebastian Ogaard and Jose Antonio Garfias. Ogaard in the MP Motorsport entry. Pressing, and another driver pressing. Solov is pressing the rear of Segura. Of course, with Masson now out of the running, and it's Solov back into 3rd position. Now, what do we see here? He's lost the back end, and that has flicked him around, and he's lost the front end completely as we go across the gravel, and I'm supposing at that stage he's already long hit since hit the barrier. It did look like he had a bit of damage on the left front as well. Would have been interesting to see how that incident finished. I think we know how it finished, but really how he got the damage he did. But the race Actually, no, maybe it's just the angle. Certainly not as bad as I thought, but definitely damage, as you can see, on the right front suspension. Assuming really should be a double wave yellow flag there, or at least a single wave yellow flag for the car still out on track. And so Bracci continues to lead. There's been a time penalty applied to Solov for track limit breaches. That certainly doesn't put him under any pressure from Ogaard, but it will make his challenge to Segura a little bit more difficult, because not only does he have to pass his Spanish rival, looking at the wrong flag, his Spanish rival, it does mean he actually then has to build an additional gap over him to actually keep that position. Bracci continues to lead. Fastest lap of 1 minute 40.237. But he's actually said, yeah, he said on this lap around, he's taken another 0.3 out of it. That is an incredible effort. It'd be interesting to know exactly how the penalties are adjudged. A 1 second time penalty, so it's a very it's a very specific penalty. It acknowledges some sort of penalisation without necessarily taking too much out of their efforts. But over the course of a race, a 30-minute plus 1 lap race, 1 second really doesn't amount to too much. As you see, he's Gravland, and then Boya, and then Lupino. 8th, 9th and 10th positions. And Boya will be frustrated, no doubt, having started 5th, fallen down to 9th. On a day we really could be making hay, he's only going to claim 2 points if he finishes in this position. And a 1 second time penalty also for Jorge Campos, the same for track limits. And this is effectively a 1 second penalty after a drive. It's basically for the 3rd warning. So they've had 2 messages from race control, and the 3rd time they do it, they get a penalty added on to the time at the end of the race. Right now, it really doesn't look like it's going to make any kind of difference whatsoever to Solov. He's 4 seconds ahead of Ogaard and Garfias, as we see them go through the screen there now. Here is Nogales, then Pingasov just behind in 6th and 7th positions. Nogales, the leading rookie in this race at the moment. Gravland, Boya and Lupino continuing to round out the top 10 into Pugasak, while Loy has now moved up to 11th position, having started 16th. See the DriveX mechanics watching this race unfold. Nearly halfway through running this race, 8 laps in the bag. The gap is 3.1 seconds. But Bracci's not under any pressure whatsoever. At 1 minute 40.1, he set another fastest lap, 0.2 of a second faster than the next driver, Segura, in 2nd place. cars. See that towards the end of the field. Marco Giannis is pulled into the pits. His day is done. He pulled in a little bit ago. Jorge Campos is also pulled into the pits to retire from this race. 14 running out of the 17 who took the start. Cabrera, Solov. The gap is just going back and forth, taking a 10th here, but then losing it the next time around. But Solov still has that 1 second gap. As mentioned, if Solov does get past Cabrera, he actually has to build a gap over him to ensure he doesn't lose that place on the checkered flag later on. 9 in the bag. Cabrera has taken a couple of tenths back out of Bacci last time around. He's not worrying too much about Solov. I'm mostly certain that Cabrera also probably knows full well that Solov has a time penalty. That is Campos. The Palo Motorsports machine. Checking over the suspension, it looks like. I do wonder if he's had a rumble over the curbs. This new curb has actually been laid down this weekend. And of course, the drivers do have to take care of them. The live YouTube chat is Palo Motorsport team of Alex Palou from IndyCar. The answer is yes. It's a collaboration he has in Spain to bring young drivers through into motorsport. I can't remember off the top of my head who the collaboration is with, because I read that about 4 or 5 months ago, and now I've forgotten it, which is awfully not useful in the slightest. But yes, that is very much affiliated with Alex Palou, the now 2-time IndyCar champion. Congratulations to him. And it's a very, very good effort by Palou to help young drivers get into this fantastic sport of ours. And we're continuing to watch Sebastian Ogaard and Jose Antonio Garfias. Garfias, the number 99 orange machine, the MP Motorsport duo. Ogaard actually started behind Garfias in the order. He started 6th and 7th, now currently running 4th and 5th. For Nicholas Solov, at this point, not entirely sure. We've been asked if he is running till the end of the season. We're not entirely sure at this point. As far as I'm aware, he is only running for this weekend. Point of the year, as Formula 1 goes out into the Far East and Americas and Middle East and whatnot. And the chap in the glasses, I do believe, is he's a chap called Gwen LeGroux, and he is basically the guy who in a sense runs the kind of Mercedes Formula 1 junior team. Not really a junior team per se. They don't enter championships, but they do bring a lot of drivers through the order, get them helped into series. He previously also ran what was then the Gravity Motorsport junior team, and has brought drivers such as Esteban Ocon, Alexander Albon, and several others up the ranks, and help them get their steps towards Formula 1. So it's good to see the likes of Gwen here at the circuit. To Santa Point, Zach has pitted. Last time around, he was running in 11th place, so no indication yet as to why. Solov, 3rd place, fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 40.0. Dropped off slightly for a couple of laps, gave himself a little bit better. Gave us a little bit more of a breather for his tyres, for the engine to the airbox, and now he's going to challenge again. 10 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. There is still time for the reigning Spanish Formula 4 champion to make another position. And still the fight, the 4th and 5th goes on between Ogaard and Garfias, and then you have a battle between 6th and 7th between Nogales and Miran Pinkasev. Then you got a 3-way battle for Graveland, Boya and Dapino for 9th, 10th, 11th place. And then you got Gilkes, who's out on his own. And 2 remaining drivers, Niels Koolen and Dario Cabanelas, who are running 12th and 13th place. But that fight between Nogales and Pinkasov is for the leading rookie drivers in this class. All 3 of those are graduates, of course, of Spanish Formula 4. Pingasov not quite close this time around to make a move on Nogales. Pingasov, of course, running for Pilot Motorsport. Started 8th place, running 7th. Nogales for DriveX started 9th, currently in 6th position. Meanwhile, in this battle of the rookies, Flashy has began building his lead once again. Set a personal best, 1 minute 40.118. It's going to be difficult from here on in to see any more fastest laps being set, as the tyres have just, the Hancock tyres just had the edge taken off them. They're beginning to age somewhat. And they'll still be very, very, very good to the end of this race, but they just won't have the absolute bite that they did at the beginning of this race. Just coming down to the last third of this race. Must be noted, several little changes this weekend. Of course, the GRS Jesse Carrasquada came in for the 4th round last time out at Zandvoort, following the disappearance, the dropping radio of Chen Yuhan. Niels Koolen is now filling in that seat for this round. It's a new entry. Koolen's at the moment running in 12th position. Solov also, this is his first, as mentioned, this is his first round in EUROCUP-3. A seat I do believe was previously occupied by Daniel Mavyatov last time out. But really, this round and last time out at Zandvoort, the first time that GRS have run 2 cars in this entry. The first 3 rounds they only ran the single entry. Sainteloc Racing This is actually the first race in EUROCUP-3 with Dario Cabanelas, running 13th at the moment. So Sainteloc Racing, whose lead driver, I won't put any spoilers, who's had a great deal of success so far in Formula 4 this season. They only entered single-seater race in July last year at Spa. But have expanded their category into several versions of Formula 4. So this is their first entry into this level above Formula 4. So Sainteloc Racing may not necessarily get a great result for Cabanelas, but they will get the knowledge. Sullivan in second place. Their fastest lap to 1 minute 39.9. But Ogaard has had enough. Dropped to 1 minute 46.6 last time around. And that gives Sullivan more than enough of a gap to ensure that he maintains second place despite his penalty. The former Spanish Formula 4 champion out front, who actually leads. The gap is 4 seconds to Solov, with only 3 minutes and 50 seconds plus 1 lap remaining, and I do not see a scenario where Braschi loses this, to be frankly honest. He has been quite imperious. A wonderful start to get off the front row and take Solov very quickly. That's Ogaard. Disappointed to have fallen down the order so swiftly. Final couple of notes really. Power Motorsport, of course, they had new entries at Zandvoort with Jorge Campos and Georgios Marcogiannis. Neither driver has completed this race. Both of them are out, while DriveX Daniel Nogales had their new entry, running from Monza, getting some experience under the belt, and doing very well in this rookie class, and heading to win the rookie class again today, as we see Solov on screen, chasing down Braschi, but he's only taken 2/10 of a second off his rival. New fastest lap, by the way, is a 1 minute 39.8 by Solov. Braschi's not far behind. He's in the early 1 minute 40, so 1 minute 40.0, but he's not losing anywhere near enough to be of concern to him. So 1 second time penalty now been added to Dario Cabanelas' entry. Track limits. So 2 seconds time penalty for track limits added to Niels Koolen as well. There's been a track limits penalty for Intrapuvizak, but he's already retired, so it doesn't really matter. And Jorge Campos also has a penalty for track limits, but he has retired. It'll be interesting to see if maybe a penalty is applied to tomorrow's race instead. See Ogaard and Garfias crossing the line. And just to know, if you've seen some of the names on the left-hand side of your screen kind of bounce up and down somewhat, we have been having some transponder issues at Jerez this weekend. So drivers are, in essence, not immediately registered as they cross the start-finish line. until a little bit after they have crossed that line. So if it does look as if we're falling down the order, a lot of the time they're actually not. It's just waiting for the transponder to kick in. We're seeing Garcia is now falling 0.8 of a second behind Ogaard. It really is a solidified fight for fourth and fifth positions. Pinkasov nearly a second behind Nogales. There is a fight over 12th positions at the moment between Cabanelas and Koolen. The gap is half a second. Let's see. Ogaard and Garfias back on screen. This final lap has been started by Bracci, who's 2.9 seconds of an advantage over Nikola Solov. Solov faster still, 1 minute 39.7. Was 7/10 quicker than Bracci last time around, but that really doesn't matter. I think that's just Bracci kind of easing the car to the flag, making sure he gets to the end of this race. It has been a fantastic effort by the young Italian. Come around the middle part of the circuit, about to cross the line from sector 2 into sector 3. Beyond the right-hander coming up now. And we're in the final third of this lap. Actually won first time out at Spa. Had 3 podiums since, but then it kind of dried up really over Monza and Zandvoort. Well, he's opened his account once again. What a fabulous effort. And they may just reignite his championship challenge somewhat, with Masson crashing out and Bracci winning the race to take 25 points. Solov second place, fastest lap and pole position. He's taken 21 points today, while Sokrera comes across in third place, and Sebastian Ogaard solidifies fourth ahead of Garfias. Nogales heads Pinkasov over the line. Gravelin takes 8th, Boya 9th, and Bruno Dapino in 10th place, taking the final points position, with Gilkes 11th. And the final 2 runners in this race, 12th position Niels Koolen, and then Dario Cabanelas in 13th position. We had 4 non-finishers. Sandoval into Pruvasak pulled into the pits on lap 11, as did Jorge Campos on lap 8. Marco Giannis also retired, and Esteban Masson crashed out. Suleiman Zanfari was a non-starter. So, good effort today by Solov. It's not had the easiest runs in the FIA Formula 3 European Championship. And Sokrera was running second, maybe a little bit disappointed to have dropped off and come home third, but can start fourth for Palo Motorsport. So Masson continues to lead the championship, as mentioned, with 151. it out gingerly in my head. Ogaard has jumped Boya in the standings. As you see, Solov and Segura take their positions in Parc Fermé. And that is race winner Francesco Bracci, pulling to the number 1 spot. And so, as Bracci is congratulated by his mechanics, family and friends, Esteban Masson continues to lead the championship, 151 points. Ogaard is now second in the standings with 119, ahead of Boya, who's got 118. Boya, of course, has also missed a round earlier on this season in Aragon. Bracci now fourth in the standings, up to 114, so that fight for second, third and fourth is very, very tight. Then there's a gap. Garfias, fifth in the standings with 81, ahead of Segura, who jumps up a little bit. He's got 75 points, and then there's another gap into Puvasak, 56 points. He did not score the gate. Bruno Dupino, 51, Zilliman Savari, 37, Chen Yu with 21, and then Nicolas Solov is joint 10th in the standings with 21 points following today's efforts of second place, pole position, and the fastest lap. Bracci will be delighted for that, because not only just for the sake of winning the race, but it also just breaks that duct he's had. He's beginning to maybe fall slightly away. Maybe it's the haircut. And here's the start. Solov on the left-hand side of the screen was sluggish way, allowed Bracci into the lead. And behind, Masson and Segura fought for the next positions. That was actually Segura who went through first. Masson followed through, and Segura lost the position to Masson as the next corner unfolded. See Mario Boya, who started 5th, dropped down to 9th. Disappointing day for him, as mentioned on the day there. Masson crashed out. He really needed to gain some big points, but really didn't at all. It was a battle for quite a while between Segura and Solov, with Solov staying close but not able to make a way through until a mistake by Segura put him off the track and allowed Solov back through into second position. As we see some Porsches coming out into circuit for another race that is happening after this. We will get to the podium in a few moments' time. And so, see the results on screen once again. Daniel Nogales, the rookie standings winner, ahead of Miran Pingasov and Sebastian Graveland.
Francesco, congratulations. Good start, and you have still pushing until the end. How about it?
Yeah, it was a difficult race because it's really hot, but I'm maintaining the pace until the end, so I'm really happy.
And have you felt the pressure to have the current F4 champion behind you the entire race?
Not really. He's a driver like everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And fine words from the race winner.
Congratulations.
And we hear Congratulations in the paddock. As drivers coming through. Having completed the 9th race of the season. We'll have race 10 tomorrow. Live again from Jerez, in the southwest of Spain. Was Jorge Campos, who went into the pits, may have had some suspension damage. New curbs this weekend, of course. Now a fight right at the very back of the field between Niels Koolen and Dario Cabanelas. Somewhat more sedate race than we had with Formula 4 earlier on. But it really did allow the leading drivers to showcase their skill for all of us today, as we now await the 2 podiums. One for the race winner, the second, third placement, and then of course another one for the winning rookie. And drivers now coming out. Segura in the white overalls. And Solov in the BWT overalls. Of course, we will be back. As a reminder, we will be back tomorrow for race 2. That will be 11:45 a.m. if you're in the UK, 12:45 p.m. if you're on the continent. And also, catch us for some Spanish Formula 4 as well. We've got 2 races tomorrow. The first at 10:15 UK and 11:15 on the continent. So that'll be the race that leads into EUROCUP-3, and the final Formula 4 race of the weekend will be at 1:55 p.m. UK, 2:55 p.m. on the continent. So do tune in for all of those races tomorrow. The trophies handed out. Nice touch, as mentioned earlier on. It's a bronze trophy for the third place driver, a silver trophy for the second place driver, and a gold trophy for the winning driver, and another gold, slightly smaller trophy for the team representative for Campos Racing. And for now, the Italian national anthem. Congratulations to Francesco Bracci, his second win of the season in EUROCUP-3. He's claimed 3 other podiums, and it brings him back somewhat into the championship challenge. He, Mario Boya, and Sebastian Ogaard are some way behind the championship leader Esteban Masson. But we will see tomorrow how that plays out and if Masson will get his revenge. This has been a wonderful first race of this weekend at Jerez. We will be back tomorrow, and until then, thank you and goodbye.